Hey, this is Notser, and today we're taking a look at a real treat. This is the Tier 9 Premium American Heavy Cruiser Alaska, and she's going to run rampant over the enemy team in this game. My build is on the screen, the map is the Atlantic, and this is my Halsey commander. I use it on my Des Moines. You all know my love for the Des Moines and the Legendary module. Obviously, I don't have a Legendary module on the Alaska, but, everything else is pretty much extending the duration of radar, better concealment, better rate of fire. It works very well. And in this game in particular, oh man, if you want to see the Alaska carry really hard, get ready because you're about to see it. I love the ship. I especially love the ship with the Azuma coming out, or came out, because it just has more armor. It has radar. It has the ability to feel more comfortable. I don't feel like I'm a glass cannon and I can't, take someone's breath because the Azuma just doesn't have the armor to weather the kind of storms you're about to see in this game. Now, we spawned on the southwest side of the team, and I headed towards the closest point being A point. Now, A point on this map from the north spawn, you can hide behind these islands that you can just see in front of me, but notice that there is something else on approach, the Worcester. And I'm sure he was, I'm going to counter the enemy DD that, of course, is capturing A point. Well, guess what? I am a much bigger ship than a DD. I am a mega super heavy cruiser, and you are showing a broadside, so of course, first salvo, 15,000 at Citadel. Second salvo, please don't overpin. That is the one issue here. These guns are, ooh, oh yes, 27,000 damage done, and first blood. Well, no, it wasn't first blood. Really? We sailed directly to the enemy, A point. We run smack into another enemy cruiser, and someone on the other side of the map has already gained and lost another ship or two. How is that possible, you guys? How do you die so quickly? It's like you just sail and die. I've done it too. But regardless, we now have to try and disengage a little bit. I don't want the enemy Monarch to be able to punish me quite as hard as seemingly he can. This is sort of a battle cruiser-esque, so the fire duration is pretty mediocre, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. I wouldn't normally use a commander build quite like this. I kind of feel like the Alaska is more towards a battleship than she is a cruiser, and on mitigation especially, fire prevention, basics of survivability, lower the duration on all that stuff, incapacitations, the ship feels very, very, very nice. But I love my Des Moines commander, and if I were to get a double strike or, was it a Confederate or a high caliber, I would benefit from super unique passives. Plus, the red tracer. Come on, you gotta love the red tracer. Now, as all this is going on, and I'm just, disengaging, trying to move back, give myself hard, solid cover with the island, but also make it harder for the enemy to consistently hit my ship. The enemy still has B point. Looks like there's multiple enemies that may be transitioning from B to A, but also B to C. So there's kind of a split strategy by the enemy, and of course, enemy Montana, broadside. Well, we're going to take advantage of this. He, in response, is going to return fire, and I'm going to turn as sharp as I can to try and move the ship out of the angle. He clearly did better than I did in that shot, but I'm still alive, so I'm going to chalk that up to sort of a push. Yeah, the fact that I'm still alive is a good thing. I can still contribute, and I need to because my team is continuously losing ships. I don't understand. Why is there seemingly a Minotaur in at B point against, probably 6 to 8 enemy ships, give or take? Not a big number. How is he going to get out? Enemy DD could easily spot him. There's nothing to gain from contesting B point. You're just going to die. You might as well have positioned yourself more defensively, and yeah. Oh, big shocker there. The Minotaur gets blapped out of existence by the GK. So it's not looking too good, right? This is looking like a really bad game. But I do have solid cover. There is a DD. I'm using my radar, hoping that my teammates, I have a friendly GK and a Harugumo, you're going to find out that these two guys are outstanding, and they are exactly who I need on this flank. Now the radar's still on the enemy gearing, and it looks like the friendly DD has the ability to fire on him on cooldown, but he can only do it for another 10 or so seconds. There are torpedoes in the water, seemingly the gearing has sent them, so there's not a lot of risk to my ship in this position. Like, I'm not going to randomly take a torpedo. So I can afford to be a little bit more aggressive in my positioning. Obviously, the Gorosokua first, the GK, he's out in the open. He's taking fire, or he will be taking fire. Someone caught sight of me and took a shot. Caused a fire. Of course, I'm going to put it out because I have horrendous fire duration. Again, it's the thing on my mind, and oh, we got an enemy Des Moines that wants to show up, and yeah, this stupid little gearing is firing blindly from his little tiny stupid smoke, and we're disrupting him, but oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 enemy ships going up against 3 friendlies. Now, the gearing, he makes a mistake or something, he showed up, he maybe took a torpedo, I think actually there was a torpedo sent. Look at the Montana. Both of those ships have sustained a lot of damage. And I regret taking that shot because I got to watch as this gearing survives. Friendlies are working on the Montana. The friendly GK secondaries take out the gearing. And just like that, we took out 2 enemy ships. Now it is 3 versus 3. We have to try and weather the storm. Now, the GK has absolutely weathered the storm for us. I need to contribute a little bit more of my health towards this flank. Otherwise, the GK dies, and we're much weaker than we would be if he's alive. So, load AP, this enemy Des Moines, out in the open, you know, he's going to show a broadside eventually, and we're holding on for the broadside. The Alaska loves to citadel these heavy cruisers, and we miss a location just barely too high. 7 overpin, 1 penetration. We do like 13,000 damage broadside, and it wasn't even a good one, right? It was too high, mislocated. But the Des Moines, in sort of a overreaction to the damage he's taking, he's seemingly over-angling to me and the friendly GK. I fire on him, the friendly fires on him, and that's just how it works out. The enemy's defeated, and oh look, a Monarch. The enemy team just completely misplayed this initial engagement. They didn't contribute to each other at all. They didn't work well with each other. The players that had health, they refused to move forward. They let their teammates just die, basically, with no response. That's not a good teammate. Good teammates attempt to draw attention away and mitigate the damage long enough that their collective can finish off the targets until it's, 1 versus 3. But we're doing good. The friendly GK is still alive somehow, and I have pretty good angling. I don't want to present too much. This is one thing that the Azuma just sucks at. You can't dare try and tank any damage from any battleship, ever. Doesn't matter the angle, they will overpin and do full damage. It really sucks, and it makes it really frustrating to play. Now, I feel like I'm overextending a little bit. I'm definitely out there on a limb, but I think I can handle it, and I'm trying to mitigate it as best I can through being as narrow as possible and presenting the best possible armor towards my enemy. The enemy Dmitry Donskoy, he's definitely sailing in a very dangerous position. He gets citadeled by both me and the GK. I follow up with my second salvo, elevate the guns. It looks like it'll be good, and it absolutely is. The Dmitry Donskoy, basically 100-0 in effectively 10 seconds. 2 salvos by me, 1 salvo by the GK. And I'm continuously backing up because there's not any enemies that can threaten my flank. This is perfect. This has worked out beautifully. We've been able to manipulate the primary flank of the enemy to always have to deal with an angle armor. And, the Alaska can easily do this. It's not quite as big as a battleship. But I also have the benefit that the friendly Harugumo used his smoke, refused to play selfishly. He tried to contribute towards my effective hit points and my ability to ambush, and I'm trying to shoot him in the side. If I can knock out those guns, well, clearly he's a lower threat than he could ever be to me. He is distracted by the friendly GK, which I would love to finish off. So I'm just trying to present my guns towards him. I know that the angle's too harsh, so I elevate the guns. to go into the superstructure, and it absolutely does, knocks out the enemy. We're still this 3-man team. We do have a 4th who has joined up. It's a pink lion. But this GK, Harugumo, and this Alaska, holy crap, has this been awesome. I can't believe we held on to this flank. The enemy had superior numbers, and just through good teamwork, good focus fire, I mean, multiple salvos that the GK followed up on a target that I either concentrated on or was something that I was trying to assist his primary target. It's been beautiful. And the Harugumo has added the chip damage that we needed. The little bit of annoying mosquito bites that wears out a target and just overwhelms them with the amount of different things they have to consider. High explosive, angle for AP, do damage to seemingly angled targets, try to attempt to exist, you know? And, of course, Admiral Halsey, we get Confederate, which increases our rate of fire on our main battery, our torpedo, we don't have that. But our main battery will have improved rate of fire for the rest of the game. And I think we need it because I'm pretty low, honestly. It's a GK, so I've got good angling. I want to try and force him to go super. Obviously, his secondaries are going ham, but he's obviously showing way more side than I ever could in this situation, and he does pretty good damage. I really am desperately looking for this guy to die. Teammate follows up. I follow up as well. A little bit too much ricochet. I believe that I have it located a little too high, and the shell is hitting the top of the deck, and it's sort of bouncing off. Teammate finishes him off. That lion that came up needed that. It's funny. Everyone who's come over to this area has contributed in the success. Nobody's selfish here. Everyone's trying to win, and that's an awesome feeling. Now, we captured, and I have to hide behind the island. But I still have radar, so I can still contribute the information to my teammates without risking my ship. I'm still a good teammate in this position, even though I'm not the active target. So I'm just trying to, see where the Conqueror is, double check that, yes, I have the lowest hit points, and as you can see, there's no repair party available. I'm just trying to keep the 1 and 2 guns extended out over the island, but for my center mass not to be spotted. That's what I'm trying to play with, and we moved forward just slightly too much, and you know what he's going to do. He's going to try and fire off high explosive, but he doesn't. He couldn't. Did you see? He was so desperate to try and kill me. His guns were traversing. GK knocked him out. And now, all that remains on this flank is a lowly Conqueror who, he's pretty healthy. I've got to play incredibly well, so do my teammates, to draw attention away from myself, and the best way I can, keep this island in between. Now, we are trying to do some ranging shots. I know they're going to slam into the island, but I want a very precise position. I want my shells to just barely clear the island without him having any line of sight on my ship. Because if he does have line of sight on my ship, I'm dead. I'm absolutely dead in the most brutal way possible. I don't want to die at this point. We've got 4 kills. I want the 5th kill, damn it! I want my Kraken unleashed. And it's not going to come from the DD because he is on the other side of the map. I think he's trying to deal with a friendly Conqueror. I think he's smoked out. I think the Conqueror is like in point-blank melee range with high explosive loaded. I obviously, I don't know what's going on. Just through the chat comments and later on, it was like, oh, that's what happened? Man, though, this Conqueror just unrelenting. Secondary GK. You've also got the main battery of the Harugumo. Just a ton of fire damage that is just unavoidable. And, he's got caught sight of us. Look at those guns. They're traversing. He's shooting. Oh, please don't knock us out. Please miss us. He hits the back half of the ship. And, yeah, we're going to try and deny line of sight. I don't believe his front guns could fire. I know his back guns fired on me. And, we have his broadside. We finish him off with the help of our teammates, of course. Earn Kraken Unleashed. And holy crap. 465 hit points. We've basically been engaged this entire time. It was a 15-minute battle. The teammates absolutely crushed it on this side. This was one of the best experience I've ever had in the game. We had a battleship, a destroyer, and a cruiser all working together in such a masterful way. We could deal with, I think we dealt with eventually like 6 or 8 ships. Now, it wasn't 6 or 8 ships all at once. I think it was 5 at most. But we still had the same hit points. As you can see, I just barely survived. And obviously, we're going to win the game. We were able to hold on and just had a wonderful experience in the Alaska. I highly recommend this ship. It can do tons of work. It's in between a battleship and a cruiser, and you can do a lot of broadside cruiser blapping, big heavy broadside, while also maintaining pretty good usability with the radar and maneuverability. So, 1.5 million, Confederate devastating strike, high caliber, Kraken unleashed, 5 kills, 2,882 base XP, the GK, 3 kills, 2,156. Harugumo didn't get any kills, but clearly he would have gotten a ton of kills. We just had to alpha strike him into non-existence. Ghost of Joker, Jay Brown, you guys were awesome. It was magical to run into some random players who worked so well together, and it just masterclass in teamwork. Thank you so much for watching my content. If you would like to continue watching more of my videos, don't hesitate to click the links. You can also subscribe to my channel and check out my daily uploads of World of Warship content, both news and obviously build related. I hope this was enjoyable. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you next time.